Hi everybody, it's She Woke Up ExJW. I am up here in the California mountains where I live, and a lot of going on up here. A lot of people doing repairs and stuff, get ready for winter because winter will be coming. Oh no. Anyways, my topic of the day is regrets. Regrets, and as an ExJW, I think my biggest regret is that I fell into that high demanding faith. I sit back and I've been thinking about so many things after watching so many ExJW videos, and so many of you out there, like they say, apostates. And what's interesting is thinking all the years, mind you, just to remind you, I'd been in it for 34 years. I've been out 3 years. And I think I woke up a long time ago, okay? And I can't pinpoint the day, can't pinpoint the year, but it was like a progression, right? But to go back to the point of the regrets, I don't want everybody to take the regrets as I can't move on. Take your regrets of being in that high controlling environment, like this. You couldn't make a decision about school. You couldn't make a decision about birth control. You couldn't make a decision about should my kids be in public school or should they be homeschooled. You couldn't make a decision about what kind of clothes you could wear. You couldn't make decisions, okay? So you had your whole life told from platforms in the Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses what you can and cannot do in your life. And it makes you feel, gosh, I have all these regrets. Why did I go through that? Why did I follow it? And it definitely, there's so much evidence. I encourage you to listen to a lot of ExJW YouTube channels. They're just amazing, and they go into the depth of different scriptures and things like that you were convinced you had to follow. And when you look at them or think about them, you're like, well, you know what? That just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense now. And, they do a lot of play on the brain of, the scripture says this, the scripture will say this. And then you have to follow it to a T. And as imperfect people, like they'd say, we're all imperfect. We're all imperfect. How can you do that so perfect? We can't. I would say take those regrets or those things you feel like, oh, I was in that organization, I regret it, I hate myself, or I hate this, I hate that. Use it as your stepping stone. Up here in the mountains, I see streams. I've lived in Oregon and I've seen streams and a brook flowing or a huge river. And as they wave over those rocks, right? The river waves over the rocks. That's our life. We go over those rocks of regrets and we move on. So if you could just take those regrets, no matter how long you were a witness and now you've moved on and you're still trying to move on, because as well as I do, some of you have progressed farther. Maybe you've been out 20 years. Some of us, 3 years. Some of us, 6 months. And you're going through this wave. And I look at that in my mind and I think, okay, it's been 3 years. This is my journey. And you know how rivers stream to the ocean and they go out into the sea? It's like that is your new life out there in the world that you were told was just absolutely horrible. And I guarantee you're going to meet good friends. You're going to have a new life. Maybe you've decided to try something new in your life. Maybe you want to be a motivational speaker. Maybe you want to open a daycare. Maybe you want to go to college. Maybe you want to become a doctor. Do those things you want to do. Don't let those regrets hold you back and stifle your growth. And I've had a lot of thinking about it, a lot of, I just want to say, you don't know that much about me as an ExJW, but when it comes to these regrets, when I was a witness, I was kind of a little bit rebellious, okay? Because I seen things in the world as, even as being as a witness, as an adventure. Like, what about this? What about that? Why not try this? Oh, Disneyland was at one time a bad place to go too. And that was one of my favorite places to go. Because it's all magical. You can't believe in magic. You can't pretend. Stay in reality, right? Stay in, the world's coming to an end, Armageddon's coming, and that's it. You're going to be done, and Jehovah's striking you down forever. What a horrible way to live. It was horrible. And I just want to encourage you to flow over those regrets. Let them go behind you as those rocks fall behind you, as the waves go, and you're going out into the beautiful world to see what it's really like. There are good people out there. There are so many good people. If you have family that is shunning you right now, that's their decision, okay? You can't grab them and pull them with you because you've woke up. It's just not quite possible. They got to find that out for themselves. And, stating to them and dropping a little pebble, if you want, into their mind about the abuse of children. That is a huge thing. And my first encounter with that was my ex-husband. He shared that with me, the Australian committee and the abuse in Australia, and the courts going after the Watchtower Society about the abuse. And share that, find that online. And if someone in your family or a friend who's just open, just a little, say, hey, have you seen this on the news? Have you seen it? And send it to them. Send it to them. Look up that Royal Commission and the court and everything, because JWs out there and family or friends who are thinking people and don't like certain things in the organization, they're more likely to watch it. They're more likely to listen. Play innocent. Because it was innocent for us when we first heard it. It was like, what? What do you mean? There's this huge child abuse thing. What? We think that everybody in the organization is just peaches and cream. Nobody does that. Nobody abuses children in the organization. Why would there be a cover-up? And think about all your donations. Everything you've donated over the years, money, property, everything you've donated to the organization goes to fight these child abuse cases. They're protecting their assets. They're protecting themselves. But these kids who've endured this abuse, or women enduring, putting up with spousal abuse, because they're supposed to submit, right? You're supposed to submit. Maybe if you were a better wife, or maybe if you just, your husband's not in the truth, well, you could win him without a word. So that means don't protect yourself and your children from the abuse by not saying a word? No. That scripture's wrong. Telling you just need to be quiet. Abuse is abuse. Past abuse is abuse. It's wrong. No matter whether you're an atheist or you believe in God, if you know the scriptures like I've known, being in the ExTruth, the truth is God does not like it. And that's how I believe. It's wrong. And they should all be taken to court. Any pedophile, any abuser should go to court and have penalties. And it's no different when our parents raised us. Maybe some of our parents were not good, okay? And I ain't gonna say they were perfect, because our parents aren't. They raised us how they were raised. Or some were more compassionate, some were more strict. Whatever the reason, or however we were all raised, it was hard. It wasn't easy. And our parents back then didn't always have manuals, except for the ones in the truth. If you were raised in the truth, your parents were, discipline your children, don't let them talk in the Kingdom Hall, or, different things like that, because I came in the truth in 1986. And, it was in 1986, sorry. I'm up in the mountains, and so the Wi-Fi is like kind of crazy. So I came in the truth then, and that's when the sisters would spank their little toddlers with a spoon. They'd bring a little spoon or something, take them outside and spank them. You're going to sit down. Stop it. Because all the kids had to be trained right there, right? We all had to sit in the rows, sit and listen to the meeting. But kids will be kids, Kids are kids. And I feel bad because I spanked my son, took him in the bathroom and spanked him. And I think I was just more nervous because it's so quiet and everyone's passing the mic around and you're trying to do all the meetings and the studying and all that. And kids really need a place to play. I'm sorry, 2 hours like that, it made me a nervous wreck. It's like being in college and bringing your kids with you into your calculus class. How in the world? And then if your kids weren't quiet enough, people are looking at you like, can't you keep your kid quiet? That's what the looks you got. So anyways, those regrets, don't live with those, okay? Try to move on. It's like a puzzle. Do you like to do puzzles? I love puzzles. I miss doing them. I'm with family and I don't have a place to set up a puzzle, but it makes me think. I think about my life when I'm doing that puzzle and figuring out all that. A puzzle in itself, you're solving, So if you could just take different pieces that have happened in the organization that have affected you and say, okay, this piece is out of place right now. And one of the pieces that I had, which I'll talk about later, that I realized my husband brought that up. Because I remarried. I'm not a witness. I married somebody from another country, and I'm very proud of it. And he's never been a witness, but he has actually read some of the books because he knew somebody from high school that was a witness. So he had read some of the books. And he knew about disfellowshipping. He knew about not taking blood. He knew about a lot of things. But anyways, he brought something out about me, a couple of things, that I have a tendency to be like, and it kind of hurt his feelings. And that's being judgmental. So judgmental comes along with being a witness. So if you have never experienced the Jehovah's Witness life, if you are a Bible student, listen up, okay? Because you are going to be brainwashed into thinking everything you do could be wrong. Okay, everything. So, anyways, back to that point of regrets. So you take that piece. So I'll just tell you my one thing, okay? Just my one thing. I'm embarrassed, but then I'm not embarrassed, okay? I shouldn't be embarrassed, okay? I need to roll over that pebble. Roll over that rock in that lake. The embarrassment of the fact that I am negative or I am judgmental. And there's been many ExJWs who have said on their channels that it's that judgmental thing. That comes down from the Watchtower Society and comes all the way into all those congregations all over the world to all the people. It is taught to be judgmental of everybody outside of Jehovah's Witnesses organization. Everybody is included outside and within the Jehovah's Witness organization. So I was judgmental. I have to catch myself all the time. I am not kidding. I have to catch myself all the time. If someone says to me, well, I like this or that, and people, I'm just going to say outside, I have family who's never been a witness. I was the only one that became a witness. I judgmental them. Even my best friend, who I'd known since I was 11, even now being around her, I feel horrible. Because I think, oh, she likes this and she likes that, and Halloween's a big thing for her. And us, we as ExJWs, we didn't do a lot of Halloween, or we gave it up. And that's her Christmas. And I was kind of being like, I don't know. I was thinking like, we shouldn't be doing that. So there I go. Okay. I have to laugh now because it's just unfair. It is so unfair. And my husband was saying that, you're judgmental. I wish you wouldn't do that or that. And I did say that to him. I said, we had a heart to heart, and I'm like explaining, you did bring that up about me. And he's like shaking his head. So anyways, I'm a work in progress. Okay. Those are one of the things I've caught myself, and he's helped me see. And out of the love of him loving me, he's sharing that. And I sat and I thought about it after he had said that, and thought about it. And I go, you know what? I do it all the freaking time. Okay, it's time to stop doing that. So it is a regret, and it's ingrained from being a witness to be judgmental. The world in itself on the news and the media and all that is judgmental, okay? It's reporting news, and someone dies, they say, oh, it was drugs, alcohol, blah, 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 whatever. But you know what? We all know people who've had problems like that. We know people who've had issues with drugs or alcohol or whatever, smoking, whatever it may be. But is it right for us to judge that? I would rather be intervening to help a family member if they wanted the help, to help them get through it, and not sit back and just like, well, that person can't stay off drugs. And I have family like that, and they're not witnesses. So here in this heart to heart between you and I think it's wrong. You should still love your family. They're not perfect, and neither are you. So that's where the judgmental is there. You don't have to be a witness. You don't have to be an ex-witness. But anyways, so regrets. Let's just flow over those dang regrets and move on. And you can change some of that very easily by having conversation. I want to encourage you to have conversations with other ExJWs. Bible studies. Please research about the witnesses. Go on YouTube, punch in Jehovah's Witness organization, and see what pulls up. Now, if something seems too deep for you, reach out to me. Send me a message if you don't understand something, okay? I'm more than happy to help, but I would just want you Bible studies to know you need to not go in the organization, but you're going to wonder why. So YouTube, Jehovah's Witnesses, and see what pops up, okay? Anyways, I'm going to say toodles. I haven't been on here in a while because I've had transitions of things with family and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to try to get back on the groove of things between work and everything, and do some more videos. So this was my move on, take your regrets, flow over them and look behind you as that regret stays way back there as you flow in life. And enjoy your life, okay? Enjoy it. Enjoy the freedom. Do things you want to do. Do things you want to do. Have fun. Life is short, so just enjoy it. Reach out to people that you care about that you haven't talked to in years because you were told not to. Oh, don't talk to those people. So come on, do it. Enjoy your life. Alrighty, I'm going to say sign off here, and I'll see you at the ExJW She Woke Up Again video. Toodles.